It's 36 degrees outside, and I've been using my fireplace insert, and at the present time this morning it is 74 degrees in my living room. The thermostat is set at 66, and there's 2 more thermostats in the house. The readings are slightly less. It went up about 3 degrees in the other 2 rooms. Just got a fan installed to circulate the heat that's rising. You know, in the winter time we have it in a clockwise rotation and on slow speed. That was just installed a few days ago, so I think it's making a big difference. And this is what the unit looks like. It's a hybrid. It has Frye technology. It's a low-pi or low-P, and it's the largest unit they make. It has a triple burn. It burns the smoke, the particulates, and of course the wood. And my wood is about 5 to 7% moisture. The catalytic combustor kicks in at about 500 degrees. What I do is I wait until the cat temp goes to about 650 or so, leaving the bypass damper all the way open. Right now it's closed. And once it reaches that high temperature, I close the bypass damper, and then the temperature automatically starts to drop. That's why I go a little higher than 500. And then once it pauses, which seems to always be above the 500 mark, I close the bypass damper and then adjust the air intake. And if I push that lever all the way in, that would be maximum airflow. But what I do is I devised a little measurer, and I push it in only about an inch, and that seems to be a great temperature. It works real well. I just marked off a little piece of wood, so that's approximately where that line is, about an inch or so pushed in. And then the catalytic temperature, you can tell from push the button here, and it's about 653, so it's pretty good. I just leave it alone. If it gets too low, then I'll add another piece of wood or stoke it with one of the flippers there. And this is the hearth rug I have. Really important to have a hearth rug, because the distance between my fireplace insert and where that flagstone is it's short. It comes up short. It's supposed to be 16.5 inches, but it's not. So anyway, I have my lucky cricket. I need to get better at starting fires, though. Okay. It's another look at the fan. Okay. Closer look. It's about, I think it's a 67-inch Minka fan. So there's an overview of the room. Probably would retain more heat if my windows were a little bit better insulated. They're not the best windows, so that's next on the list. And I always keep a water. I have a lot of water bowls because of the dogs, but I also keep a big pot of water. Probably should find something nicer than that stock pot. Another thing that I use to check the wood, and I know all the wood that I have is very low moisture. I use a moisture meter. I have 2 of them by General. This is a newer one, but I actually like the older one better. It just seems to work more consistent. And how you work it is this. This is my older one right here. This has a little more bells and whistles, but they're cheap, about $25. I think I got them both on Amazon. So you take a piece of wood, if you're not familiar with the moisture meter, and I'm going to use the older one. Here's this one. You just take top off. You turn it on. Makes a little beep. And then you just put the prongs into the wood. And let's see, do it again. I did say 5%. 7, 6. Okay, so I really take an average. I'll do it in a couple different places. So my wood is very dry. You want wood that's going to be 20% or less. So 5%, 6% is extremely low. Now if I use the other meter, it's a little bit different. Let me just open it up. I like it that it lights up because, you know, I don't want to put lights on at night. So I'll turn it on. And it has, you could use it for wood or you could use it for some, you know, other parts of your house. But I just use it for wood. But this one doesn't always work. See, it's not as consistent as the other one. It doesn't seem to... Okay, so this one's registering different. This one's saying 11.8, which is still low. And there's a meter, you know, it'll tell low, medium, or high. So it's low. This one's low. But they're both good. You can't go wrong with a General. It's very inexpensive. You don't want to be burning green wood. I wouldn't be able to tell if it's green just by looking at it. I'm not an experienced burner. Anyway, this is it. This is the Lopi or Lopi. And we had the surround part, the part above the arch, like looks like the frame of it. This piece here that goes, you know, the outside piece. That was huge. It was like a foot above the arch. So we had that cut down because with the stonework, it's so pretty. So I didn't want to take away from that. And then the stone does heat up, so you have some radiant heat as well. And that's it. I have a wood supply here. And then what I do is I always make sure that when I put the wood in that it's not directly coming from outside. So I have a little area here when I take my wood from outside my front door and I place them in here. It's sort of like my warming area, and I hate those round ones. They just take, I just don't like them. And I have a shed that was built by the Amish, so I'll show you what that one looks like. And this is just when I bring it into the house to put it into my warming area. I just take it from here. That's an ash can. And then, I don't know if you could see the shed, but we'll walk over to it. And I definitely need more wood. Okay. It's a real nice day today. Oh boy, there's hardly any wood in there. But that's the shed. And it has a little overhang, so when I'm getting the wood, you won't get wet if it's raining. It's nice. Keeps it nice and dry. And that's it. And go back inside. Today isn't really cold, but I've been running it consistently for days. And I'm just learning. I'm not that great at it yet, but I'm learning. And one trick I did learn though was at night you rake all the coals to the front, and then you put the logs in the back. And I just have a hard time with it. I'm still learning. But in any event, it's great. Highly recommend it, especially when your propane bills are $3,200 for the season. So it's nice just to kick back and relax. And anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe you learned something. All right, bye-bye.